So do you like pain and suffering? Well, boy, you've sure come to the right place. We're back out here on the Mercury. It's time to do some more welding to get some of these pieces that we've made for the inner structure and understructure of this old car, get it back together so that we can move on to hopefully sooner than later, the floorboards. So, set up a time lapse. Don't want to bore you with all the monotonous details. A lot of this stuff is just straightforward, getting in there and doing it. So, let's get after it. There we go, more ugly welding. Flux core is not always pretty. My eyes haven't really improved either, but I will say that I was able to get a few better beads by the end of this welding run. Getting back in practice with using this welder, trying to figure out exactly how fast to run with it, trying to get this metal to tack together on top of rusty metal. I thought I had the worst of it cut out, and then you'll be welding, and then all of a sudden you'll find another rusty bad spot and blow a hole. It is what it is. So I don't know if you noticed, but by the end of that time lapse there's a piece of jute firewall pad. When I took and was doing some grinding on in between those welds, that firewall pad caught flame. The time lapse didn't catch it, but it was trying to burn up into the dash. Fortunately, there wasn't a whole lot there to catch fire and burn but that jute pad, and I was able to grab it and snatch it out on the ground before it turned catastrophic. So we're going to put a pin in it right here for now. We'll be back either tomorrow or another day soon and get back to it. Like I said, I've got some grinding to do. Then we can seam seal it and call this done. This piece, she's solid. Alrighty, it's been a couple of days. We got some rain coming this weekend, and it's probably going to keep me locked down to where I can't work on the car. So I've got to try to get a little bit of work done today. I believe that I have sufficiently wasted enough welding wire and have tortured that piece of metal enough, and I've got to do a little bit more finish grinding on it, and then I'm going to put some primer on it, and we're just going to have to let it be what it is. We're going to call it done. Like I said, when I first welded it in, it's all solid. It's ugly, but it's solid, and that's all that I really care about. So let me get to grinding, and we'll get to priming. Alright, well, we've got the high spots knocked off the welds, and like any properly prepared painted surface, you wipe it down with brake clean, and you hit it with Ace Rust Stop Primer. I've used this Ace spray primer before. It's pretty tough. It does a pretty good job. If you've seen any videos on my channel, one of the most recently dropped videos I had was about the first car that I had on my channel, which is 67 Mustang. And this is primarily the products we used when painting and touching up paint. and doing a lot of the repair work was done with the Ace hardware paint. I'm not sure who makes it, but it's probably somebody like Krylon or somebody like that. It's pretty good stuff. Like I said, it works, so that's what we're going to use. Man, that's ugly. I'd actually hoped to get in here today and break out the seam sealer and seam seal all this stuff and get it all pretty and painted and like I wanted it. I went to get the seam sealer out of the cabinet, and who knew that stuff wouldn't last 7 years on the shelf without getting hard in the tube. But that's okay. We're going to deal with it. We're going to get some more seam sealer and get this thing sealed up. Got some paint to top coat it once I get that done, and we'll be able to start working on the floorboard hopefully in the next video. I hope. No promises, but I hope. And in the meantime, if you've never seen anything on the channel before about this car, why don't you go watch a video coming on the screen right now.